Hello, I'm Ellen Sutherland, and here we are being spiritual. So my quote this week is from the book At Your Heart's Pace, and it is, resisting a thing brings up the opposite of what we want. Force brings about counterforce. So that's the contemplation, what we hold in mind, what we hold inside of us. We let it work with us. Resistance, what does that mean, and how does that work in our life? I think some of the more obvious ways that resistance plays out in our life is that we say something is awful, some happening in life is awful. Isn't it awful? They died young. Isn't it awful they died? Isn't it terrible that we're having such a harsh winter? Isn't it awful how that person has left the other person? You know, whatever the event in life is that you judge as wrong, you're resisting what is. So up comes lots of feelings when that's said. Lots of feelings. People get very incensed. What are you, being passive? You want to just let the world roll over you. You want to not do anything about anything, and it can be very upsetting for people. But I want you to also hold, and I'm working with this all the time, the concept of being unconditional. Unconditional. All the great spiritual avatars, Krishna and Buddha and Jesus, Zoroaster, all talked about absolutes. They talked from absolute states. And they gave us that ideal. So unconditional love, unconditional kindness, unconditional sweeping life attitudes were part of their teaching. So all of the great teachings, all of the great spiritual teachings ask us to be unequivocal and not to leave out any aspect of society or any situation. We are asked not to judge. Of course, what do we do all the time? We are asked not to reject, not to resist. Unconditional love, peace, joy, all of those states of energy, the highest of those states, which they talk about being complete in and of themselves, are achieved when, or are realized, that's why the word is realized, when we let go of what blocks it. And what blocks it is resistance. Force equals counterforce. Or I'm going to make that person be different. I'm going to make myself be different. All of that is forceful and harsh and resistant, and actually makes us, on some level, accept that it is real, and more real, perhaps, than peace. We're asked not to exclude anything, not to resist anything. I mean, that's put another way. We are even asked to totally trust, to totally surrender our will, our idea of how life should be. I mean, that's the highest and most absolute. So we're moving towards that. We're moving towards unconditional. So resisting a thing, brings up its opposite, brings up the opposite of what we want. A Course in Miracles tells us that everything that happens in this world is perfect. Is perfect for us. It's a perfect experience for us. So resisting that perfection means that we cannot see its perfection. We cannot find its perfection because we're too busy pushing it away. So I hope you'll find that quote helpful, that you can think about it, contemplate with it, and see its wisdom. And it may actually make being spiritual an easier process for you. Peace to you.